Namaste, Pranam, Gita Dhyanam. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitam Vritavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Ampatva manusandadhami Bhagavad Gite Bhavadveshinim. O Bhagavad Gita, with which Lord Narayana himself gave enlightenment to Partha. The ancient sage Vyasa included it in the Mahabharata. O Goddess, showerer of the nectar-like knowledge of non-dualism contained in your 18 chapters. O my affectionate mother, the destroyer of rebirth, I meditate upon thee. Krishna Vandana. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadguru. Son of Vasudeva, the slayer of Kansa and Chanur, extreme delight for Mother Devaki. O Lord Krishna, the supreme teacher of the universe, my salutations to you. Our reading of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, the 15th Adhyaya, Purushottama Yoga, and Sri Krishna giving us that wonderful assurance that, my dear children, I am there with you always. I am there sitting in each and every heart of all the beings. And whatever memory you have, whatever knowledge you have, it comes from me. Whatever memory and knowledge you forget, that is also from me. And I am there in the Vedas. I am the one who the Vedas seek, whatever the knowledge in the Vedas seeks, I am that knowledge. I am that ultimate objective of studying all the Vedas. I have written the Vedas. Whatever is there in the Vedas, the hymns, it is all my doing. And I am the knower of all the knowledge in this creation because it comes from me only. There is no other source of knowledge. I am so near to you. And Sri Krishna says that Sarvasya chaham rudhi sannivishto. I am sannivishta. I am sitting in the heart of all beings. Rudhi, in this heart of all beings. Sarvasya chaham rudhi sannivishto. Mattas prutitnyan apimohanam cho. From me arise the memory, from me arise the knowledge, and from me also arise the absence of memory and knowledge. So whatever you are is me. And Vedescha sarvai hi aham eva vedya. I am the ultimate of all the Vedas. Of all the Vedas, what you can get, I am that ultimate goal of all the Vedas. Vedanta krit veda videva chaham. I have created the Vedas. Vedanta krit. Vedas have been created by me. And Veda vida eva chaham. I am the one who knows the Vedas, who is the ultimate knower of the Vedas. So what more assurance you want from from the Lord himself? That I am with you all the time. Now there might be some confusion that if Lord is with us all the time, how this, sometimes the Lord is saying he is within us, but we don't realize. We don't ever make an effort to realize the Lord. And we only keep on seeing the things which are coming and going, all around us. All around us that we see is the fleeting things, fleeting objects, the impermanent world, the impermanent creation, perishable creation. So how is it? So Sri Krishna now clears the doubt on his own without ever asking that how is it that some things in this universe are perishable, some things in this universe you are saying that the Lord is Purusha, he is imperishable. So Sri Krishna is now here clearing the doubt of his own talking about the facets of Brahman. how Brahman appears as perishable and how Brahman, that Purusha, appears as imperishable also. Is not appears, is imperishable also. Sri Krishna says in this 16th shloka of our today's reading, dvāvimau puruṣau loke kṣaraścākṣara eva ca kṣaraḥ sarvāṇi bhūtāni kūṭastho'kṣara ucyate. Here now Sri Krishna makes a distinction between what is kṣara, what is akṣara, what is perishable, what is imperishable. Now Sri Krishna says this Purusha, for that matter, a very interesting phenomena. Sri Krishna says this Purusha is in two forms. Dvāvimau is two. Dvāvimau puruṣau loke, in this world. In this world, this Purusha as such is appearing in two forms. Dvāvimau puruṣau loke. These are the two forms of this Purusha, the same Purusha, in this world, in this creation, in this loka. One is perishable, one is... Now when it becomes perishable and imperishable, that Sri Krishna is explaining. Kṣaraḥ ca akṣaraḥ eva ca. These are the two forms. These are the two forms in which this Purusha is there in this world. The kṣara is perishable and akṣara is imperishable in these two forms. So Purusha himself is appearing in this creation, is in this world, in these two forms of kṣara and akṣara. Kṣaraḥ sarvāṇi bhūtāni. Sarvāṇi bhūtāni, all the beings that you see around, they are all kṣaraḥ, they are all perishable. Because they are also part and parcel of the Parama Purusha. So Krishna is telling that even the beings are a kṣara Purusha, for that matter. The beings are perishable. So what Sri Krishna is referring to Purusha in two forms as kṣara and akṣara, the beings are kṣara. Kṣaraḥ sarvāṇi bhūtāni, all the beings moving, unmoving, sentient, insentient, the animal kingdom, plant kingdom, all the beings, they are all perishable, they are all kṣara. But kūṭastho'kṣara ucyate. Kūṭastha is the one, the immutable, the changeless, the one in which there is no change. In all other beings there is a change. Every moment there is a change taking place in the physical beings. There is a change taking place. Since the time of birth, not a single moment goes when there is no change. All of us, we are changing moment after moment. We are not the same what we were a moment earlier. It is such a dynamic, progression, for that matter. It is a dynamic forward movement from birth to death. Constant change, constant change. But there is one thing which is kūṭastha, immutable. There is no change at all. Because that kūṭastha thing, that the ultimate thing, it doesn't come under the purview of the time frame at all. Because there is no beginning, there is no end. It is just a blissful existence, absolute existence, without beginning and without end. So it remains changeless. And Sri Krishna says that changeless one, the kūṭastha, is called as imperishable. Now, these are the two types of appearances of this Purusha. One is kṣara, one is akṣara. As beings, as this creation, it is kṣara, that Purusha himself manifesting as the Prakriti, as the perishable, as the mutable, as the changeable thing, is the kṣara. That beings, all the beings are kṣara. And the one that is immutable, one which is absolutely changeless, one in which there is no progressive degeneration for that matter. That kūṭastha is called as akṣara. Now, this is what happens when actually the Jivatman comes into a picture. Jivatman is nothing but part of the Paramatman, manifested to experience the happenings in this creation. Jivatman by its own, it can never experience anything, because Jivatman is again a part of that kūṭastha. But in order to experience the happenings in the world, in order to experience this worldly life for that matter, Jivatman has to take shelter, has to take refuge in something. Jivatman doesn't have eyes, Jivatman doesn't have ears, Jivatman doesn't have tongue, Jivatman doesn't have any of those five senses, and the mind also is not there. Jivatman is absolute a tiny variation of the ultimate kūṭastho'kṣara, Brahman. Now, the moment this Jivatman comes in, takes up a body, then the experiences start. Then the phenomena of the change starts happening the moment. But there is no change in Jivatman, change in the body, change in the sarvāṇi, bhūtāni for that matter. It is always the change in all the beings, physical beings, which are composed of the Panchamahabhutas, four basic principles covering under that fifth principle of the space of Akasha, of ether. So, this Jivatman, once it is individualized, that is the individualized consciousness. Jivatman, the moment takes form in the form of any being, a human being, animal being, a plant being. Since there is beginning and end to the process of individualization, now this Jivatman, which is present in the body, is called as kṣara. Till the time the Jivatman is there in the body, that body is called as kṣara. Because there is constant change in that physical body. Jivatman, there may not be change. But Jivatman is trying to utilize this body. The entire objective of Jivatman getting in the body is to once again seek release from this creation, from this prakriti, and go back to my Paramadham, to my supreme abode, the Parama Purusha, the Purushottama. But till such time this individualized consciousness is existing in the form of Jiva. That process of kṣara, that process of change, that process of perishing is constantly going on. The Jivatman being an upadhi or limiting adjunct to Ishvara, this upadhi is also called as Purusha. Although it has got a restricted a role to play. Jivatman cannot just leave the body and go back. No. Whatever the body does, till the time this body is free from any karmic influences, this Jivatman has to come and go, take new body, try this the journey, try your efforts, and not successful of liberation, again take another body. So this is what so even with the Jivatman also gets into different changes. The physical embodiment becomes a change. Now, therefore, this upadhi of the Paramatman is also called as Puruṣau. Yes. And the Jagat, or the insentient universe, is also an upadhi to Ishvara. Because after all, even the Prakriti is a manifestation of that Ishvara. But it has the function of getting perished. That is the difference. That is the difference between perishable and imperishable. That is the difference between kṣara and akṣara. There is a fundamental difference between the jivas being associated with Prakriti or Maya and Ishvara doing the same. When jivas they associate with Prakriti in order to dwell in a body. That is a different function. But the Ishvara is aloof of all this for that matter. The Paramapurusha is in its own bliss. It is in its own state of existence, knowledge, bliss, absolute, in the Satchidananda. Jivas are all slaves to Maya, while Ishvara is eternally the lord of it. Jivas are under the influence of Maya. Ishvara is not. Ishvara has projected the Maya. Ishvara has projected all the gunas. But Ishvara by himself. Jivatman has to suffer. Suffer in a sense through the bodily existence and death. The Jivatman has to undergo all these activities. The Jivatman has to undergo all these various cycles under the influence of Maya, under the influence of the gunas. But Paramatman is beyond that. Paramatman is beyond Maya. Paramatman is beyond gunas. Wielding power over Maya, he assumes various forms. That is what Ishvara does. He is the ultimate magician. He is the ultimate trickster. He doesn't get involved in anything. He makes others. He makes others playing around in this creation, in this merry-go-round. He makes people come and go, come and go, come and go. Facets of these Ishvara, they also assume the theological names. Now this same Ishvara, we may worship this same Ishvara as any deity for that matter, the Shiva, Vishnu and Ganesha, Kali, Shakti. But ultimately, it is all the one imperishable Brahman. That is the ultimate existence. From the Vedic times till now, this cosmic Purusha has undergone changes of names, forms. You see, if we read the Vedas, we don't find the Vedic gods were totally different from what the gods that are worshipped today. In the Vedas, we find the gods as Maruta and the wind energy and the lightning power and the rains. These were all considered to be the gods. So even the concept of God, the nomenclature of gods for that matter, it keeps on changing. So even that is kṣara. Only thing that remains unchanged is the ultimate Purusha. That has never been changed. That has never changed. Whichever studies you undertake of the Vedanta Sara, ultimately it leads to only one entity. And that is the imperishable Purusha. That is the Akshara Purusha, Avyaya Purusha, the Akshara Brahman, the Avyaya Brahman. That is the ultimate. So that is what Krishna says, that I am appearing in this creation in the two forms, Kshara and Akshara. When it comes to beings, it is all Kshara. But in reality, in my original form, I am kūṭastha. When I am that kūṭastha, when I am that changeless, I am Akshara. So this is the clarification that Sri Krishna has given to us, that how within this domain of one Akshara, the Kshara also takes place. Within the gamut of, within the arena of this Akshara, even the Kshara happens and how it happens. So Sri Krishna has explained this phenomena of the perishable and the imperishable in this 16th shloka. Now, to make this point understand, Sri Ramakrishna has given a beautiful example of how this kshara and akshara can be explained in terms of an example. Sri Ramakrishna gives an example of a fruit. Sri Ramakrishna says, the skin, the pulp, the nut and everything else in a fruit have all come from the same seed. When we take a fruit. When we start studying a fruit, what is this fruit? Fruit is composed of so many things. It has the outer skin, it has the pulp, it has the nut, everything, whatever is there for the fruit, that whole thing has come from one single seed. Now, Sri Ramakrishna gives this as an example. Similarly, the sentient, the insentient, and all forms of existence, kṣara, all the variations of the kṣara, they have all come from the same seed of the akṣara Ishvara. That akṣara Ishvara has projected this creation and brought so many different forms of perishable things. It is mind-boggling that akṣara becoming kṣara, that imperishable one, imperishable Purusha, the Purushottama, projecting itself as so many forms of perishable things in this creation. The creation itself is perishable. One day this creation is there. Sometime it will just disappear and bring forth the new creation. Bring forth the new solar systems. Bring forth the new galaxies and all those things that are around there. So this is what is happening in terms of the kṣara and akṣara. From one seed come all the different forms of fruit parts, the elements of fruit, the elements of this creation, the perishable elements of this creation coming from that one imperishable source of the Purushottama. So wonderful reading of 16th Shloka and Sri Krishna's explanation on the perishable and imperishable. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sri Krishna Arpanamastu. Jai Sri Ramakrishna. Jai Thakur. Jai Ma. Jai Swamiji.